For centuries, knowledge has been hidden in plain sight across the sands of time. Whispers of lost civilizations, cryptic symbols, and forbidden histories have been erased or concealed. What if the truth was never lost, but hidden? Welcome to Eye of Ancient Mysteries, where the past speaks and the future listens. Sit back, open your mind, and prepare to uncover the untold secrets of our world. Let the journey begin now. The Philadelphia Experiment, or the secret of the USS Eldridge, one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century, still remains unanswered. According to legend, in 1943, the U.S. Navy attempted to create a ship in Philadelphia that would be invisible to enemy radar. The project allegedly relied on theoretical work by Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla. Special generators were installed on the Eldridge. But during the trials, something unforeseen occurred. The ship, surrounded by a powerful electromagnetic field, did not simply vanish from radar screens. It literally disappeared in the most literal sense of the word. After some time, the Eldridge reportedly materialized again in a completely different location, with a crew driven to madness. How credible is this story? The first person to speak publicly about the Philadelphia experiment was astrophysicist Morris Jessup, a scientist and author from Iowa. In 1956, he received a letter from someone calling himself K. claiming that the military had already learned how to move large objects outside of time and space. The letter was written in response to one of Jessup's books, which explored unusual properties of time and space. The author of the letter claimed that in 1943, he had served aboard the ship Andrew Furuseth. From this vessel, part of the group monitoring the Philadelphia experiment, Allen said he personally saw how the Eldridge dissolved into a green glow. He said he heard the roar of the force field surrounding the warship. The most intriguing part of Allen's account concerns the after effects of the experiment. Strange things began happening to the men who returned from nowhere. They seemed to fall out of the normal flow of time. The term used was freezing. There were also cases of spontaneous combustion. The term given was igniting. On one occasion, two of the frozen sailors suddenly ignited and burned for 18 days. Rescuers were unable to extinguish their bodies by any means. One of the Eldridge sailors reportedly disappeared forever, passing through the wall of his own home in front of his wife and child. Jessup began his own investigation. He dug into archives, interviewed military personnel, and found numerous indications of unusual phenomena. His conclusion was as follows: the experiment is extremely interesting, but also terrifyingly dangerous. The effects on the participants are far too powerful. The trial used magnetic generators operating at resonant frequencies, creating around the ship a monstrously strong field. In practice, this allowed temporary exit from our dimension, and it could imply a spatial rupture, if such a process could even be kept under control. Jessup may have known too much. He died in 1959 under strange circumstances, found in his own car, suffocated by exhaust fumes. The U.S. Navy leadership denied having anything to do with any so called Philadelphia experiment in 1943. They insisted it never existed. Scientists, however, did not believe this claim and continued Jessup's investigation. It was proven that from 1943 to 1944, Einstein was officially employed by the U.S. Naval Ministry in Washington. Other witnesses were found who said they had personally seen the Eldridge disappear. Some possessed technical notes, allegedly written by Einstein himself, his handwriting being too distinctive to mistake. Among the collected materials was also a newspaper report describing sailors who stepped off a ship and literally melted, according to eyewitness accounts. Here are the recollections of American electronics engineer Adam Silling. In 1990, my acquaintance Margaret Sandys of Palm Beach, Florida, invited me and some friends to visit Dr. Carl Leisler, her neighbor, to discuss certain details of the Philadelphia experiment. Physicist Carl Leisler was one of the scientists who worked on the project in 1943. The goal was to create a warship invisible to radar, a powerful electronic device, similar to a magnetron's generator of ultra-short waves classified during World War II, was installed on board. The device drew power from electrical machines with enough output to supply a small city. The idea was that the intense electromagnetic field around the ship would act as a screen against radar waves. Leisler was positioned on shore to observe and control the experiment. When the magnetron started operating, the ship disappeared. After some time, it reappeared in another location, but all the sailors aboard were dead. Some of the bodies had fused into the steel, the same metal the ship was made of. During our conversation, the elderly Carl Leisler was visibly shaken. It was clear that this sick man suffered from deep remorse and lived with the heavy guilt of the Eldridge crew's deaths. Leisler and his colleagues believed that they had accidentally moved the ship through time. The vessel had disintegrated into molecules, and when the reverse process occurred, there was a partial exchange of organic molecules from human bodies with the atoms of the ship's metal. To this day, the truth behind the Philadelphia experiment remains unclear. No authentic documents proving it took place have survived. The Eldridge's logs disappeared under mysterious circumstances long ago.